Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to answer a question that I get from a lot of people who ask, well, why is narcissism so prevalent today? Why are so many people so narcissistic and users and everything like that? Well, it's like this, you guys. You got to understand something. Human beings are very complex. And when we talk about narcissism, you have to understand it's on a spectrum. We all have narcissistic traits now and then, okay? But it's the degree of narcissism that determines how toxic somebody can be. Somebody who doesn't have any empathy for someone is very narcissistic. And so when you're analyzing someone, whether you're dating them, you're in a relationship, you're married to them, a family member, or whoever it is, you've got to, ascertain how narcissistic is this person? How selfish is this person? How much does this person show you empathy? When you're dealing with somebody and you're trying to figure out, whether you want this person in your life, you've got to figure out, okay, well, if there was something going on with me, if I was sick, if I needed help or something like this, would this person be empathetic to my needs? Or are they completely selfish, like a narcissist, a real, true, narcissistic person would be very, very selfish, would not put themselves out, would not burden themselves, feel entitled and everything like that. So you have to look at each individual and see, just how selfish and how much empathy they have towards you. And then you could decide whether or not you want these people in your lives. But a lot of people will sit there and say, well, narcissism, everybody talks about narcissists and everything like that, when really it's only 1 to 5% of the population. Yeah, 1 to 5% that have been diagnosed. But how many narcissistic people are out there that haven't been diagnosed? And a narcissist will never see that there's anything wrong with them, so they're not going to go and get diagnosed. The way you're going to know is by how empathetic they are to you, how much they need praise, how much they try to put you down or they don't take accountability. That's how you're going to tell how narcissistic someone is. So when we sit here and we say to ourselves, okay, what's going on here? There's so many narcissists in the world. And believe me, there's a lot, okay? If you really understand narcissism, you will be able to spot it every which way. You're going to spot it with your friends. You're going to spot it with your people you work with. You're going to spot it with your boss. But like I said, it's the degree of narcissism, how selfish, how narcissistic, how much lack of empathy that they have for you that will tell you just how toxic that person is, all right? Like somebody who's a constant, habitual liar. We know that narcissists are habitual liars, okay? A lot of them, the real toxic ones. That's going to tell you, okay, I'm dealing with a very toxic, narcissistic individual. But what is causing this? This is what everybody wants to know. What is causing this selfishness that is going on? And especially in the dating realm where, people are just, you go on the dating apps and it's like 90% narcissists out there, 75% of people that are already in relationships or situationships. That's why dating apps are not the same as they used to be years ago, you guys. So you go on there. I'm not saying you can't meet somebody, but you're going to have to weed out. It's going to take a lot of time to weed out a lot of the people that are users and that aren't there to meet somebody. They're there to use you for some purpose. They could be there to use you for sex. They could be there to use you for money. They could just be there because they want their ego fed because they like talking to a lot of different people. Narcissists are big chatters, okay? They love to chat and waste people's time. So they love the dating apps because they're bouncing around on the dating apps and they feel like, if they have 10 people that they're chatting with, this inflates their ego. This validates the narcissist. They feel like, I must be something, I got 10 people that I talk to. Because the only way a narcissist validates themselves is by other people, and especially covert narcissists, all right? Covert narcissists will judge somebody according to their popularity or their status, okay? This is why covert narcissists gang up on others, and they use others to gang up on you because they feel there's power in numbers. This is how they triangulate and use others and smear you to others so that others, won't like you or look at you a different way, or they'll smear your character. But getting back to the point of this podcast, why are so many narcissistic people out there? Well, I'm going to tell you. There's a breakdown in families, family structure. There's a lot of people that came from toxic families. Now, just because somebody comes from a toxic family or has a narcissistic parent, it doesn't necessarily mean that that person's going to turn into a narcissist. It depends on the individual. Whether that person is woke and says, you know what, my family's really toxic and I don't want to be anything like them. Like, I would never treat somebody in a cruel or wicked way or lie or something like that. I don't want to be like my family. And then there's other people that see how their family were and say, well, if that's good enough for my family, that's good enough for me. Nobody gave me any, golden red carpet to walk down. So, narcissists have a mindset that it's a dog-eat-dog world out there and that you can't trust anybody. A narcissist doesn't trust, all right? That's why they can never, ever be transparent, because they're afraid that if they open themselves up to transparency, they're going to get hurt, okay? Narcissists are fragmented souls, which means that basically they don't have the power of God within them to do the right thing. They think for the moment. They think, okay, what's going to benefit them, materialistically or, according to life on earth as we know it, all right? A lot of narcissists are not very spiritual people. They're worried about the here and now. They're worried about, financial gain, status, praise, and things like that. That's why they don't care about hurting other individuals, because they don't worry about later on, that they will be judged one day. Unless you're dealing with a narcissistic type of religious type of person that is basically a hypocrite, that uses religion to try to manipulate people and having them trust them. Those are the people that you have to really watch out for. The ones that preach religion and that are, trying to make you think like they're this godly person and everything like that. See, a narcissist is going to portray the exact opposite of who they are, and especially in the beginning. They're going to be exceptionally nice. They're going to be exceptionally kind. You're going to say to yourself, wow, they're so sweet. They're so nice. And this is why I tell you, when you meet people, if they're over the top nice, you have to be cautious. Okay, because nobody's that nice for no reason, okay? And I have a lot of people that come back at me and say, well, that's not right to tell people that. Sometimes people are just nice. Yes, there's nice, and then there's over-the-top nice that is fake and phony, and it's up to you to differentiate the difference, okay? There's a difference between nice and somebody who's fake and phony and telling you they love you after one conversation. Somebody who tells you they love you after one conversation is fake, phony. Okay? Somebody who rushes you in a relationship, that is a red flag. But why do we have so many narcissistic people? Because a lot of people come from toxic households that weren't validated. Narcissism, they could have came from an abusive childhood where they were abused in the home, where they saw a lot of abuse going on, or they could have been the golden child. And that person's general personality and their environment molded them to who they are today. So if they coming from broken homes, they don't have a role model or somebody like that to teach them, the right thing to do or anything like that. They're going to figure they're out in this world and they're going to fend for themselves, and they're going to be like, you know what? I don't care who I hurt, because everybody else is hurting everybody else. So, you got to do what you got to do in this world, because, if you don't go after it, somebody else will go after it and hurt you and stump on you. This is the mindset of the narcissist, okay? And you see this especially in business, all right? And so the point that I'm trying to make is people have lost their sense of morals and values. And why is that? because the world has become more complicated. You have more options for everything in your life. You have more options for buying groceries online. You have more options for getting car rides. You have more options for dating with 52,000 dating apps. You have more supply out there. You have more options when you go to a restaurant with a million different menu options. So the point I'm trying to make is when you have more options, it builds confusion in the brain, okay? So the more options a human being has, it builds confusion in the brain. And a lot of narcissistic individuals, they're always looking for something better, okay? Here we are in this world of social media with plenty of options, plenty of inbox, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, you name it, okay? And there's so much temptation out there. A narcissist is a person that wants to satisfy their impulses, satisfy their needs. So they are going to be tempted by all of this supply that's out there. So what is a narcissist, what would be their interest in having one individual when they could have 10 individuals and have variety? And they look at it as variety is something exciting. You're a shiny new toy till they get bored with you. And guess what? There's so many options out there. I can go find somebody else, okay? I don't have to settle for, Miss Boring or, Miss Whining or Complaining or Miss Put Boundaries on me. The minute that the going gets tough, the narcissist gets going and goes and shoots for somebody else. Because a narcissist doesn't have a basic core of morals and values. A narcissist doesn't understand the meaning of life, the meaning that you build, you live a certain life, and, you progress forward in your life, and your life has a purpose. You're not just going in a circle, just satisfying your needs, whether it's sex or money or materialistic things to try to throw in other people's faces. Somebody who, was brought up with a sense of morals and values and a sense of, righteousness or God or anything like that is going to do the right thing, okay? They're not going to look to hurt other people. That's the difference. They have a conscience. They may want something, but they wouldn't step on somebody to get it like a narcissist would. A narcissist doesn't care, okay? A narcissist, the only person a narcissist cares about is themselves. And I've had people say to me all the time, do narcissists care about their children? Yeah, they may care about their children, but not more than themselves, okay? Not more than themselves. A lot of times narcissists, they'll go out and they'll do whatever they want and they don't care about the kids. And then what happens to the narcissist later on in life when they get older and playtime isn't as great, they can't get the supply that they used to get? Oh, all of a sudden they want to come back into their kids' lives. But guess what? That kid remembers that narcissistic parent was not there for them, okay? So in life, you get back what you throw out. You reap what you sow. And this is exactly what happens to a narcissist. Trust and believe, they do get it back in the end, you guys, okay? I've seen it, all right? It comes usually when they're older and everything like that. They become very lonely or bitter. Unless they have money, then they have people kissing their ass for their money or something like that. But the reason that these narcissists, there's so many narcissistic people out there is because you have a lot of hurt, damaged people out there. But that's not an excuse to hurt other people, okay? Like we've all been hurt. We've all been through shit, okay? But it doesn't give anybody a right to hurt anybody else or to play with other people's feelings, okay? So when you're out there in that dating world, you've got to be careful. You've got to be cautious. You cannot be naive. A narcissist is going to look at you as naive, and beware of the narcissist that tells you, oh, you're so innocent. You're so naive, That's pretty much the narcissist telling you you're a jerk, all right? Because if they're looking at you as innocent and naive, they're looking at you as somebody that believes everything you hear. So beware of somebody that says something like that to you, okay? They're pretty much saying like, well, you don't know the game, It's a dog eat dog world out here, and you're looking at everybody with rose colored glasses, but you need to realize, it's a cruel world out here, and you got to, do what you got to do to get ahead and everything like that. So when you move with it out in the dating world and you're dealing with these narcissistic type of people, you don't believe anybody's words. I'm gonna put a big plaque on the wall here in my office that says, "Do not believe words." I don't care what they say to you. I don't care how convincing they are to you. These people are good actors. You're going to look at their behavior. You're going to look at their actions. You're going to look at their prior behavior in past relationships. Okay? How were they with their exes? This tells you everything, man. If you look at what somebody's track record is, it's going to tell you exactly how that person is going to treat you in the future. You're not going to be the one to break the camel's back, just so you know, all right? You're not going to change the narcissist. This is who they are. This is who they've been molded to be their whole lives. And, you're just another one on the roster list till they get bored and they move on to something else or a better opportunity somewhere. So understand that, okay? There's plenty of beautiful women and handsome men out there. So it's not like you're, the best thing that ever walked the earth. They know that there's plenty of supply, so they don't ever feel that they have to, pursue anything to the fullest because there's plenty of supply. And this is the problem that's going on in dating. This is why I laugh at some of these dating coaches that sit there and say, well, you got to play hard to get, or you got to do this, or you got to do that. You can't do anything because the bottom line is, as long as there's a lot of supply they will have. If they can get it, they will get it. So what does it break down to? It breaks down to their sets of morals and values. What is this person's morals and values, okay? Are they somebody that believes in building with somebody, or are they just somebody that's out for the here and now and the fun, okay? People that are there that want to be with you for the here and the now and the fun, these are people that are going to waste your life, okay? Years of your fucking life. They're going to waste years of your fucking life, and they're going to breadcrumb you and tell you everything that you want to hear. And if you sit there and you let it drag and you keep going by, well, they said, oh, we're going to get engaged in 3 months and everything like that. Well, at that 3-month mark that you gave them, okay, after going out a while, and they don't do it, you got to back off from that person, because they're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep stringing you along. So when you're progressing with a narcissist, when you're with a narcissist, they've got to show you actions. They've got to progress. They can't just talk out, their ass, all right? To put it bluntly, you've got to put their back against the wall and let these people know, hey, you mean business, and you are not going to be, gaslit or anything like that. Anybody that talks in a circle to you or can't answer a question straightforward, that is a red flag, and that's somebody that you say, this person is not answering the question. This person is gaslighting. This person is deflecting. This person is flipping the blame on me. I'm dealing with a toxic person. Now I know I don't take this person seriously. Now I know that this person, I can never, ever resolve any conflict with them because they're not transparent, okay? And a narcissist, all right, is basically, they're a tainted individual that doesn't believe in the truth, okay? They believe in lies, they believe in manipulation, and this is how they get what they want, okay? They prey upon the weak. A lot of people, this is another controversial issue, is where people say, oh, well, the narcissist, they go for the strong and everything like that. No. Not necessarily. They're going to go for whoever they can manipulate and whoever has a supply that they want. A lot of times the narcissist is going to go after, a disabled person, somebody who's had their heart broken and is vulnerable. They're going to go after vulnerable people that they can manipulate, that they may see they have something. Maybe they have money. Maybe they just want to use them for sex or something like that. That's what a narcissist targets, all right? Where they can get something that they feel they can manipulate you. But why are there so many narcissists in the world? Because the narcissists are running with social media, okay? This is what's going on. The narcissists have a lot of supply out there. So when there's a lot of supply out there, you're going to get less commitment, all right? It's just a fact. With so many options, And so many people that have been burnt by other people, that's another thing too. When you're dealing with somebody that could be a little narcissistic and now you take them and they've been burnt, they've been cheated on by somebody or something like that, that narcissist is going to be twice as bad, and they're going to be like, well, you can't trust anybody. I'm just going to go cheat on everybody. I'm just going to be a player and not care about anybody's feelings because nobody cared about my feelings. So that's how you get this cycle of abuse. How many people have been ghosted on dating apps? So now they're going to ghost somebody else, It's a cycle of abuse that goes, like some people, when they've been through abusive relationships, they feel like, well, you know what? They treated me like crap. I'm going to treat the next guy like crap or something like that, all right? But this is why you have to look at this individual and say to yourself, does this person, do they seem kind and understanding, and not just in the first 3 months, okay? Do they understand life? Do they understand that there are good people in the world? See, a narcissist is not going to look at it like there's good people in the world. A narcissist looks at it like it's a cruel world out there, and it's okay what I'm doing because you know what? Nobody did the right thing by me, or I was never validated. And a narcissist, their biggest Achilles heel, the problem with the narcissist is that they always feel that, people, they need their egos fed. They need that constant validation. They are extremely insecure. They are extremely jealous of somebody, okay? Because a lot of times, these narcissists were not validated as a child. Maybe they had a parent that always told them they did everything wrong, or they had an emotionally unavailable parent. So now you have this individual who maybe needed extra care, had an emotionally unavailable mother or father, right? And now they're getting in a relationship with you. They may not know how to be emotionally available to you because nobody was ever emotionally available to them. Or maybe they just have an attitude like, well, this is the way I was treated. This is the way I'm going to treat you. All right. So you've got to see, what is that person's mindset? And the only way you're going to know that is over a period of time watching their behavior and their actions, okay? Never judge somebody within the first 6 months, all right? This is the biggest problem that people make. They jump into relationships and they think like they know the person. You don't know the fucking person in 6 months. You don't know the person in a year. There's people that I found out things after I was married, over 12, 13 years that I never knew about my ex-husband, okay, that came out later on. So this is what I'm telling you. Never really, truly know somebody. You can get an idea about somebody, but this is why you have to move slowly. You have to move slowly with somebody. You have to educate yourself, and you've got to see how empathetic they are. Because you know what? In life, you're going to be thrown a lot of rocks at you, okay? You could get sick, you could lose your job, and you want a ride or die type of person by your side. You don't want somebody that the minute you get sick, all of a sudden they disappear or they give you excuses why they can't come by, all right? Or they're out for themselves, or they leave you because you're sick, or they leave you because you have financial problems or anything like that. So, the best way to test somebody if they're narcissistic is if you tell them that you're going through problems or something, see what kind of response you get. They may act a little sympathetic, like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then all of a sudden they disappear. Right there tells you who they are, okay? That's how you're going to know. When the goings gets tough, that's when you're going to see who's really down with you and who's not. But getting back and summing up about narcissists and why it's so prevalent today, okay? And it is prevalent. There's a lot of people, like it says in the Bible, man has become lovers of themselves, all right? And you see that because of all the options today, all the opportunity, all the temptation. So you have to weed through and find the ones that are real. And it's a weed out, you guys. It is definitely a weed out. But it has to do with the fact that we are in a fast-paced lifestyle, okay? And when you're in a fast-paced lifestyle and everything like that, you don't have time to sit back and reflect and, have peace. People are stressed out. People have a lot of anxiety. We just had a pandemic. people are going through financial things. So when people are stressed and people have anxiety, people are going to be snappy and they're going to do what's good for them, okay? They're not going to have that kind of understanding and patience and kindness and stuff like that. So this is the world that has been created. And my advice to you is this: put yourself around the positive, good people and disengage from the toxic people. Anybody that gives you an insult, a backhanded compliment, anybody who ignores you, ignores your texts or anything like that, disengage from these people because they will only bring you unhappiness, okay? So I hope that helps you. If it did, hit the subscribe button. Please share the podcast and have a great day. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP 123 and also on Instagram, The Game EXP 123. Okay? And have a great day.